dear Elaborates, welcome to your biology class. So last class we learned about the reproductive phase in human, isn't it? We learned the reproductive phase as well as we learned how the determination of sex happens in a baby, isn't it? Today we are going to learn about hormones, the hormones other than sex hormones. So we learned about the sex hormones, that is sex hormones become active during adolescence and it leads to secondary sexual characters in males and females, isn't it? We learned the hormones present in males, sex hormone present in males, and those are testosterone, and we learned the sex hormones of females, that is estrogen and progesterone. Now there are other hormones in our body, other endocrine hormones in our body which has severe function. So today we are going to learn about 4 other hormones in our body which has vital role in development of an individual. So these hormones are described well in page number 111 of your textbook in a box. So kindly go through the table after watching this video. So let's learn first hormone, that is growth hormone. First hormone we are going to learn is growth hormone. Growth hormone. We have learned about the pituitary gland, isn't it? Do you remember when did we learn about this pituitary gland? Yes, when we learned about the hormones initiating the reproductive function, we learned the pituitary gland stimulate to produce the LH hormone, isn't it? And LH hormone in males stimulate in the formation of testosterone, whereas it stimulates in females to initiate the production of estrogen and progesterone. We learn about the pituitary gland. Now this growth hormone also is situated inside the pituitary gland. So growth hormone. So the growth hormone is secreted by the pituitary gland. So pituitary gland, we learned it secrete LH hormone, luteinizing hormone. Along with that, it also secretes the growth hormone. Now, where is this pituitary gland situated? Yes, the pituitary gland is situated inside the brain. So inside the brain, pituitary gland is present and it also secreted the growth hormone. From the word itself, growth hormone, you will understand the function of this hormone. What will be the function? Yes, it controls the growth of an individual, isn't it? It controls the growth and development as well as it controls the body structure of an individual. The height, the weight, all these things are controlled by the growth hormone. So at each age, there is a typical ideal weight for a person. Those things are managed by the growth hormone. Now there are few conditions called dwarfism. Conditions like dwarfism. Dwarfism. And there are few conditions like gigantism. Gigantism. So, if the growth hormone production is less, it causes the disease called dwarfism. Now, you may have heard the word dwarf. Dwarf means small, isn't it? So, if the growth hormone production is less, it leads to the shortage of growth of an individual and it causes dwarfism. Whereas if the growth hormone production is so high, it causes higher growth, the individual grows in height and it causes gigantism. So these two are the diseases which related to the production of growth hormones. So the first hormone which we learned today other than the sex hormone is growth hormone. And the production of growth hormones happens, and the production of the growth hormones is done by the pituitary gland. Now, the decrease in production of growth hormones by the pituitary gland causes dwarfism, whereas increased production of growth hormone leads to gigantism. So, the second hormone what we are going to learn today is thyroxine. 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 Now, thyroxine is secreted by thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Now, you may have heard of the thyroid gland. Where is the thyroid gland situated? Yes, thyroid gland is situated near the throat. It's here, near the larynx, near the throat. So, that is what thyroid gland is, and it secretes the thyroxine. Now, what will be the function of thyroxine? The function of the thyroxine is to stimulate the cellular oxidation of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So, that's the function of the thyroxine hormone. Now, the deficiency of thyroxine hormone causes the disease called goiter. So, next hormone is thyroxine hormone. Thyroxine hormone is secreted by, yes, thyroid gland. Okay, thyroid gland, and the function of the thyroxine hormone is to cellular oxidation of proteins, carbohydrates and fats. Now, the deficiency of thyroxine leads to goiter disease. Okay. Now, the third hormone which we are going to learn today is adrenaline and aldosterone. Adrenaline and aldosterone. Now, both these hormones, adrenaline and aldosterone, these are two hormones, and both these hormones are secreted by adrenal gland. Adrenal gland. So, both adrenaline as well as aldosterone is secreted by adrenal gland. Now, where is this adrenal gland present? Yes, the adrenal gland is present above the kidneys. So, we know about the kidney, it is the excretory organ of a human, isn't it? So, adrenal glands are present above the kidney. Now, the function of the adrenal gland. The function of the adrenal gland is to control the fear, curiosity, etc. It controls few emotions like curiosity, fear, etc. Now, the function of the aldosterone is to regulate the mineral balance in our body. So, these are the hormones, adrenaline and aldosterone secreted by the adrenal gland. We are going to learn the hormones secreted by the pancreas. Two hormones are secreted by the pancreas. The first one is insulin, and the second hormone is glucagon. So, two hormones, they are insulin and glucagon. They are secreted by the pancreas. You may have heard about the word insulin. The function of the insulin is to lower the sugar level in our body. The insulin reduce the sugar level in our body. So, the deficiency of insulin causes the disease diabetics. So, I am sure you may have seen the diabetic patients, and you may have heard they take insulin as medicines. It's because the function of the insulin is to lower the blood sugar content in our blood. Now, the function of the glucagon, the second hormone secreted by the pancreas, its function is to convert the glycogen into glucose when the sugar content is less inside the blood. So, the insulin and glucagon is secreted by the pancreas. So, these are the hormones, that is growth hormones, thyroxine, adrenaline, aldosterone, insulin, glucagon. These are the hormones which has severe function in our body other than the sex hormones. So, in page number 111 and 112, the description about these hormones are given in very detail. So, kindly go through the text and learn about the hormones and the sites of the hormone and also the function of the hormones. So, dear children, these are the hormones other than the sex hormones involved in the function of humans. Now, we have also learned about organisms, few animals and few insects, which goes under the metamorphosis stage, isn't it? Can you give me an example for an organism which moves through the metamorphosis stage? What is metamorphosis, dear children? Yes, what is metamorphism, dear children? What is metamorphism, dear children? Yes, the transform of larva to adult through drastic change is what we call the metamorphism, isn't it? And we have also learned many examples of organism which shows metamorphism. Can you give me a few examples? Yes, very good. Frog, mosquito, moth, butterflies, etc. are example for organisms which shows metamorphism, isn't it? That means in last chapter we have seen, that means they have different larval stage. After this larval changes only, it reaches the adult, isn't it? We learned about the frog. It has a tadpole stage. It has a young frog stage with tails. Later it has an adult stage. Whereas in butterfly, there is caterpillar, pupa, and then it reaches the adult butterfly, isn't it? So likewise, the organisms which shows metamorphism has different larval stages, isn't it? There are also hormones which controls the metamorphism in those organisms. So we learned about the thyroxine in humans, isn't it? Thyroxine regulates cellular oxidation of proteins, fat and carbohydrates in humans. Whereas in organisms which shows metamorphism, the thyroxine helps in the change of the phase. Now let's see what is the role of thyroxine hormone in development of a frog. So we have learned the development, that is egg hatches into tadpole, tadpole develop into young frog, and this young frog matures to adult frog. And let's see what is the role of thyroxine in regulating this metamorphosis.
In completing the life history of insects and frogs, we have learnt about the life cycle of the silk moth in class 7. The larva or caterpillar has to pass through various stages to become an adult silk moth. The transformation of the larva into an adult through drastic changes is called metamorphosis. The metamorphosis in insects is controlled by insect hormones. Similarly, the tadpole passes through certain stages to become a frog. See figure 10.18. The metamorphosis in frogs is controlled by thyroxine. Iodine in water is required for production of thyroxine in the frog's body. If the water in which the tadpoles are growing does not contain sufficient iodine, the tadpoles cannot produce sufficient amount of iodine in the body and cannot continue the process of metamorphosis and hence cannot become adults.
So dear children, I hope you understood the role of thyroxine in the development, in the metamorphosis of a frog. And just now you saw in Digi video that iodine is essential for the production of thyroxine. So now we are moving to the last topic of this chapter, that is reproductive health. Reproductive health. Reproductive health. So dear children, we learned adolescence is an age when a human being enters to the reproductive phase. And also we learned there are severe changes that happens during the adolescent age. So this is the time, the adolescence is the time when all of us should maintain good reproductive health. So now we will learn few conditions which should be cared very well in order to attain the reproductive health and also attain a good adolescent period. The first condition is nutritional need of an adolescent. Nutritional need. Nutritional need. We know adolescence is a time period of drastic changes. It is a time period of rapid growth in child. The child develops all the secondary characters as well as it reaches the reproductive. Learned various changes that happens in a child during the time of adolescence, isn't it? The boys, they gain height, the body develops, as well as the girls also, their development get complete during the adolescent age. So there is a drastic need of nutrition at this age. So an adolescent should follow good diet, a balanced diet in order to attain good stamina and health. Now the next point should be considered while reaching the adolescence is personal hygiene. Personal hygiene. Personal hygiene. So we have learned during the adolescence the muscular activity is more. All the glands produce the hormones. Likewise, the sebaceous gland produce more sweat, and also this production will affect the cleanliness and hygiene of a person, isn't it? As well as there are drastic changes that happens in the reproductive organs. So it should be also maintained clean and also in a hygienical way. So personal hygiene also has to be taken care during this age. It also affects the reproductive health of an individual. Third point is physical exercise. Physical exercise. This physical exercise will help you to maintain body as well as mind. It is a relaxation for our mind as well as it helps us to build good immunity and stamina. Certain exercises like walking, cycling, yoga, etc. help us to improve our physical nature. So as an adolescent, it is always necessary to practice the physical exercises. It also affects the reproductive health of a growing adolescent. We are going to learn the fourth point, that is say no to drug. Say no to drug. No to drug. A positive adolescent should always say no to drug, because adolescent is an age when you have few emotions, when you start developing few emotions. You always want to be with your peer group, and also you give more values to the friendship. So there is a chance for becoming the drug addicts by smoking, alcohol consumption, etc. So an adolescent should know about the side effects of drugs and also stop himself from consuming the drugs. Last point to maintain the reproductive health is to prevent the unhealthy transferring of sexually transmitted diseases like AIDS. AIDS is just one example for sexually transmitted disease. It is incurable in nature. Once we affect the AIDS, once the AIDS virus enters to our body, it is incurable in nature. AIDS is spread by unhealthy practice of sex, transfusion of blood from an infected person to a healthy person. So these are the methods of transferring the HIV virus. So an adolescent should always maintain a clean sex life to prevent sexually transmitted diseases. So dear children, we will summarize about reproductive health using the Digi video. So kindly go through them carefully and understand the points.
Health of an individual is defined as his or her state of physical, social and mental well-being. An adolescent should follow a healthy lifestyle which includes proper nutrition, personal hygiene, physical exercise and maintaining good habits to be healthy and fit. Let us study each of the above conditions in detail. Nutritional needs of the adolescents. We know the diet which contains adequate amounts of all the essential nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals and vitamins sufficient for the normal growth and development of the body is called a balanced diet. A balanced diet or its age group. A balanced diet helps the bones, muscles and other body parts get adequate nourishment required for rapid growth. The diet of adolescents should include sugars, cereals, carbohydrates, butter, ghee, oil, fats for energy, milk, meat, nuts and pulses which provide proteins for the growth, fruits and vegetables for protection against diseases. Personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is essential to prevent infections and the occurrence of diseases. The adolescents should follow the tips given below to maintain personal hygiene. Increased activity of sweat and sebaceous glands makes the body smell badly. So, the adolescents should take bath every day. They should always wash hands with soap before and after taking meals. They should change clothes daily. Girls should take special care of cleanliness during the time of menstruation. They should keep the track of their menstrual cycle and be prepared for the onset of menstruation. Physical exercise. Physical exercise keeps the body and mind fit and healthy. All adolescents should take long walks, do brisk walking, running, cycling, yoga in open air to keep the body fit and healthy. They must play outdoor games to build up strong bones and muscles. Adolescents can easily be tempted to be addicted to drugs, alcohol and tobacco because of the stress they undergo or because of adventure spirit. A positive adolescent must say no to drugs, alcohol and tobacco because these things cause many physical and mental diseases. Smoking of tobacco in the form of cigarettes increases the risk of lung cancer and heart attack. Tobacco chewing in the form of pan masala leads to oral cancer. Consumption of alcohol causes serious damage to the nervous system. It also damages stomach, liver and kidneys. The harmful drugs like cocaine, heroin and opium damage the nervous system and other organs of the body. AIDS. An adolescent must maintain clean sex life to prevent the sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, like syphilis and AIDS. AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. AIDS is caused by HIV, Human Immunodeficiency Virus. AIDS weakens the immunity of human body. Therefore, body becomes prone to many other infections or diseases. AIDS spreads in the following ways: through the transfusion of blood from the person infected with HIV to a normal person, through the use of infected needles or injections. The children of AIDS-infected mother may get this disease from mother's blood, through sexual contact with HIV-infected person.
So dear children, by this we are concluding our class. We have also completed this chapter, that is the 10th chapter, reaching us the age of adolescence. So I hope all of you understood how important the adolescent age, each of yours age in our life. So next class we will continue the textual activities of this chapter. See you in next class. Thank you.